Okay, so I had to shoot this video again because I made a mistake. I'm getting ready to use a patch bay. So I looked at a bunch of patch bay videos and I found that some of them were really informative. Some of them were even more confusing. But one thing I noticed is by watching enough of them and having a little bit of knowledge of patch bays and using them before, but I had never actually set one up in my own studio. This is the first time I've actually done that. So I'm going to show you what I learned real quick because I can't stand how long it takes when people make these videos. So without further ado, I'm going to show you my system. I'm going to show you how to use it. Bear with me. I got to move this camera around and use a flashlight. Here we go. So we're going to run this, and this into the patch bay. We're going to start with this because this is what's running the show. I'm only using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outputs from here, and I might end up only using 4. So I'm going 4 from the output. And I'm going to take that output and go into what we call the outputs of the flashlight of the patch bay. Where the heck did I put the flashlight? Oh, there it is. It's right there. All right. So I can show you what's going on. So if you notice with the patch bay, if I move these wires out of your way, get the flashlight on it. Patch bay is down here with that white, see that white cord? Right there is going into the top. Anything that's coming from my outputs of any of the machines in here is all going to go across to the output. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 from the drum machine. And that means that from the front, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can plug that into a mixer. I can plug it into an interface. I can plug it into whatever I want, and it will go from the output into that. So just remember, start from the top, all your outputs. When you're going to do your patch bay, trust me on this. Yes, there's many other ways. You can rearrange stuff. They got all this other stuff that people talk about, but just to get you moving, anything that's coming from an output. So this one, see the outputs there? I'm going to have 2 outputs at output 1 going into, so this one's going to take up 4. So this one's going to be 5 and 6 into the top, which means that I'll be able to access them here, right? Now that you understand that, I'm not going to make you watch me do that. The next thing that you got to understand is how to do your effects units, because a lot of times that's what we really want for our patch bays. So here, if you've watched any of my other videos, you've seen I'm using the SRV 2000. I'm not going to use the Avalon in the patch bay. That's a whole other story why, but I ain't doing it. So these have your inserts and your sends. So if we go to the back of that, I'll show you in a minute. If we go to the back of this, this is the Roland. Here's our output. There's our input, also known as inserts and sends. Let me see if you can see that. Move these wires out of the way. So our output is there. Input, where the red one is. Let me see. I want to make sure you can see it. Right? So because this is an output, that's going to go to the top of wherever I choose, which I chose channel 9. And if you look just below it, that's channel 33. But I'm using that
as the output. I mean, as the inputs. So your inputs will go to the bottom, your outputs will go to the top. So you can see black and red. My output, that's the black one. My input, that's the red one. You can see here, the black one's up top because that's the output. The red one's at the bottom because that's the input. That allows me to, let's just say, if the drum machine was going into, and I know it would be stereo, but let's just say to make it easier that it's mono and it's going into channel 1, and I want to use my reverb, I would go from 1 to the bottom and from the bottom of that into here. So what happens is now it's doing a send and return, and that's how you patch in. So now whenever that drum machine plays, you will hear this coming out of it. All right. Now connecting it to your speakers is a whole other video, and we will get to that. But if you've already got, most of you probably really got your setup already. If you're venturing into getting a patch bay, you probably already got your speaker system set up, which you can run into the back of the patch bay if you feel like that's necessary for me to do. I'll do it. But that's the gist of it. I'm gonna get to work. Peace.